I just wanted to ask you first off, you're running for the Macon County State's Attorney, and I wanted to see why are you the right woman to take over this position?
Well, I think the biggest reason is that, you know, the future of Macon County is ahead of us. It's not 20 years ago. My vision for the State's Attorney's Office going forward is one where the State's Attorney's Office is more engaged with the community as a whole. Because one of the most frustrating aspects, I think, of prosecuting cases, and in my experience being a prosecutor, is that you experience witnesses, victims who, at the time that the case finally comes to trial, they're reluctant a lot of times to come forward and follow through on that process. So that can have devastating effects on the cases that have been filed and are at that stage. What I would like to see, and what my goal is to work with the community, not only law enforcement people. We all know that they have a vested interest in seeing those cases come to trial, but to reach out to community groups and organizations, and through them, hopefully, reach out to the people directly and build a coalition of, or a network where we can build that trust, and that trust that is necessary to have a successful prosecution. One of the things that I'm also interested in doing is, and why I think that I am the better candidate, is that I want to refocus the way that we dispose of cases, not just focusing on the end result of a conviction, but making sure that what we're doing, and the offers we're making, the sentences that we are suggesting to the court are actually just. Justice is kind of an elusive term, but we as a community, we all have an interest in making sure that people who commit crime are held accountable for the crimes that they commit. But the concept of justice is more than just a conviction. And for years, studies have routinely shown that individuals who commit crime because of drug addiction or mental health issues, that they benefit more from a treatment component, a community-based sentence and a treatment component, and reintegration, be it through job opportunities or whatever that may be, than incarceration. And I think sometimes prosecutors are reluctant to see that type of outcome as a success, but it is a measure of success. So we need to step away from the traditional conviction tally, I guess, as the true and only measure of success when it comes to prosecuting cases.
You know, one of the big things behind any election is that they want to know the candidate. And so tell us a little bit, take a minute and tell us a little bit about yourself and why, why you fit what this county needs at this time.
Well, I'm actually originally from Decatur. A lot of people think that I came back from Decatur by way of Wisconsin, but I was born here and my family is here. My family has been here for generations. So this community means a lot to me. I've been practicing law for about 22 years now. 20 of that has been as a prosecutor. I started in the Macon County State's Attorney's Office as an intern, and once I graduated law school, then State's Attorney Larry Fichter was gracious enough to offer me a full-time position as an assistant. And I stayed with Macon County for 16 years. Because I really enjoy working in this community. I think, it's always best to work for the people in the community that you live. Since then, I've had an opportunity to work in other offices. I've worked as an assistant state's attorney in Piatt County, Moultrie County, and McLean County. And it's been a good experience. It's good to, it has been good for me to go out and see how other offices deal with situations, how their office is structured. But you know, I'm ready to come back and work for the community that I live in. I want to be here and work to make my community safer for my family, my friends, and my neighbors.
Great. Well, that's 5 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, it goes really quick, and that's where I give you one last chance, just to say, take a minute and say, you know, one last thing that you'd like to say to, if you'd like to address the voters. What's one thing that you would like to tell them?
You know, I think one thing that I would like to tell them is that, you know, right now we're facing a pretty significant issue here in Macon County, and that's the gun violence. We've seen it increase over the last few weeks. And that is one thing that will be a priority. You know, if you talk to people, the good and hardworking people that live in those neighborhoods, they're tired of it, and they want to see it end. And I think that's where the state's attorney's office becoming more engaged with the community. I'm hoping that reaching out to them will help. You know, we can build those bridges and help to kind of solve that problem.